When you're in such a low time of your little teenage life, you're like, everything sucks, I don't know why I'm doing this, but then all of a sudden this thing just like literally falls on your lap and you're just like, oh my God, this is my life now.
Well, hello.
Oh, hi.
How are you? Long time no see, old man.
Alyssa came here when she was about 14 years old as a volunteer, and she was in a foster.
I was a little Miss Rebellious. I'm not gonna not admit that.
We were skinning a lot of deer, and I really needed help, and I thought, I bet you it'd be good for Alyssa.
As rebellious as a teenager I was a very, on the outside, broken human being. It was an extremely noticeable thing. I don't know how Jim and Dawn saw me, but it just felt like I was taken under their wings so fast. It was just like I had to keep going back. There's something about how they made me feel a part of their family.
To this day, she said, this is her haven. She said, this saved my life. It's been a haven to me and always will be.
After leaving up there and finally coming back home, I miss the hell out of them. No one ever believed me that I volunteered at a zoo.
We've helped more than just her, but it only takes one, and it just makes us shine. See the baby up there? The baby was just born 2 days ago. My feller here came running in and he did a little skip and said, honey, guess what we just had? And I go, what? And he said, a baby camel. And I ran through the building and jumped on this here cart and we dashed up here to see it. And there she is, beautiful little baby camel girl.
I guess it all started with a lady with a broken down car and a little boy. And she said, could I come in the zoo? And all there was a couple of goats and one of them big white Pyrenees dogs running loose to keep track of the coyotes. She come in and a little boy walks up to his mother and goes, Mom, well look, they even have a polar bear. And I thought, boy, isn't that so wonderful? That little kid imagination thought that white dog was a polar bear. I guess that was the greatest moment of all. And the little boy come back with his own children now. I don't know, I just always wanted to build a zoo, and I watched, probably 4 or 5 zoos out, the whole zoo when it went broke.
Well, the first thing he did was he was gone on one of his jobs and he stopped on his way home and brought home Nyla and Boone. And there it was.
We started the zoo, we bought that little information booth. It took me 30 years to build this thing. We built a little bit at a time as we went. Gave a lot of animals homes over the years.
It's a lot of work and it's a lot of love, and the fact that they have just been able to consistently expand this is amazing, and I understand why they want to help them. Jim loves seeing kids being so happy around these animals. He always makes sure that these kids are engaged. If they have any questions, he's going to answer that for them. That is such a rewarding thing for Jim.
When I was tearing foundries apart, I went all over the countryside. And every place I went, I'd ask the little kids, would you like to zoo? And they go, no, I can't see the animals. So I came home and built a zoo where everybody can see the animals.
Over here, just drop it down to the black one. Just drop it. There you go. Put it down. Smile. There, he heard it rolling down already. Look at him get it. But those little kids, they come up and they just say the cutest little things to you, and you know it comes right from here.
The little kid sees a goat, he gets all excited, and he wants to touch the goat and hold the goat. And you look at the mother and the dad, and you can see that they're excited. The kids giggle, they cry when they leave, they don't want to go. Those are all good signs.
Him and I, that's how we met. He had a horse, Danny, and I had a horse, Rebel, and we'd go and out by my grandma's, and he lived just down the road from my grandma's, and we'd ride horse together. When we got married, I was 16 and he was 18.
And gave birth.
And gave birth to a child, because I was
Gnarly kid.
expecting.
Now we're old. Now what are we gonna do? We have a fantastic facility here. Donnie works harder than anybody should. You know, that's the question of the year. What are we gonna do?
My grandpa has been my biggest mentor, and from if I got in trouble at home, they'd send me out here, and my work ethic comes straight from that man. Growing up, me and Riley were always really close. We were probably the closest out of all my brothers. It was always us out here. We always goof around getting yelled at, but it was always our plan. It'd be me and him. We're gonna take over the zoo someday. We're gonna take over the zoo someday. It's gonna be our dream. That was what we talked about.
He was a very likable kid. There wasn't anybody here that didn't like him. Everybody, all my customers just loved him. Riley got mixed up with some drugs.
A few choices were made, and he started going down a different path than the rest of us.
He died of an overdose the 29th of April, and he got his cancer in May. So it's just been a really rough year. I just know he's going to get better, because we're going to keep on going. We're going to keep it going. I know he will. There was one night after the first chemo, and I could see him through the window, and I went out to the door, and here he is sitting and he's crying. And I go, "Honey, what's the matter?" He goes, "Dawn, I can't. I just can't feed the cats tonight. I can't carry the buckets." I said, "I'll be done in a couple hours and we'll do it together." "Well, you can't carry those heavy buckets." I said, "Yes, I can't, but we can do it together. We'll carry them together and we'll feed them together." I said, "So now come on." And the phone rang. And here is a young man that had been in here like 2 days prior to that. Don't know him from Adam. And he said, "Hello, I'm on my way home from work. I'm new to the area. I just thought I could maybe help you tonight."
Yeah.
And the young man came in and he helped him carry all the buckets, and he fed the cats, and he said, "Oh my God, I want to thank you. I never had such of an enjoyable evening in my life. I've never been so close to anything." Now you tell me where that came from.
Just being around the animals heals you. I mean, you could have one arm cut off and you'd still feel better if you were out there, you know? More so than sitting at home moping, going, "Oh, poor me."
You guys don't understand the relationship that these animals have with Jim. The moment that they see him, they know that that is their person, that is their human.
He wasn't going to give up. He had too much to come home to. He was worried about who was taking care of this. Was it being taken care of right? Were they locking the cages? Weren't they locked? You know, was everything going good? That's all he wanted to do, was get home.
He has done so much for so many animals, so many people, that eventually, somehow, somewhere in this circle, they all came back to help him. And somehow, some way, a miracle happened, and he beat his cancer.
Buddy, come here. Buddy, the lion. Come here, bud. you full yet from yesterday? Come on. I don't want kids to look at this as a rescue. And they've been all donated to us. So we're really not out beating a brush looking for them like a rescue does.
There isn't a week that goes by that I don't have someone walk through, and as they're walking through, do you still have anything? The lions from Tiger King? Go, no, because we never got any.
They got to have somewhere to go. Why not bring them to a facility where children see them and can enjoy them? I mean, that's what they're here. You can get within 5 feet of these cats. Come on, Alyssa.
Where they came from doesn't really even matter. People that are complaining, if you tell them that they're in a better place, they just argue with you. They want you to argue with them.
It's most definitely a haven for these animals. And if you look at a lot of these animals' past, it's been crap for them. Some of them have been through so much crap.
Ain't he something? Just absolutely breathtaking, eh?
Our animals are in cages so that little children can come in here and view a beautiful animal. That's what it's about.
Being there for people at their worst moments because they had to call an ambulance, it's like, I have you. You're okay. You're okay in my hands. And you go back to it, and then it's just like, you look at it like Jim and Dawn saying, it's okay. It's okay. You're in our hands.
This is a possum. He was in the petting zoo all summer, so now he's here. Want a cracker?
Jim and Dawn, I would love to absolutely thank you for being a huge part of my life, because my life could be so different, but I'm here now, I'm alive, I'm happy, and I'm helping other people now too. It will always, always and forever be a haven. It is the haven for Jim and Dawn. It is a haven for the animals and for the people who become a part of that haven family. So whether or not you're like a customer, or if you're a volunteer, or whatever, it's just haven for all. They want people to enjoy their time. That is like the most important thing, because that makes Jim and Dawn happy. That's why they do what they do.
We eat.
We eat every day and we have each other. We're going to be together for a few more
If
years.
it's another week or if it's forever, whatever time we got, it's great.
Mm-hmm.